think they fight with their feet, and they're pretty big, and they're pretty fast.
And my son said to me, there's an ostrich in the road.
It looked like a chicken, but much bigger.
This was Catherine Futia's big day, AM kindergarten graduation.
It's a little scary moment, but otherwise exciting.
This party crashed by an unexpected visitor. Was it scary?
No.
Was it cute?
No.
What was it?
An ostrich.
Actually, an emu that escaped from a farm that gave animal control and drivers near Route 146 the bird. Just a little smaller than an ostrich, it can be fast, reaching speeds over 30 miles an hour and not necessarily too friendly.
A few years ago, we'd gone down to the farm with our older kids, and the farmer had showed them to us, and he said that they're quite dangerous.
The farmer couldn't be reached by animal control, but this may not be the emu's first run-in with the law.
A couple of times he's been out and we've got him back. He just goes back on his own. One guy got hurt pretty bad, so we're going to be very, very cautious.
If it comes to you, what would you do to it?
I twist his neck.
Twist her neck or not, this emu was on the run for hours. Animal control just kept circling around trying to herd it back to its home.
We're definitely going to wait it out, and that's the game plan for right now.
The theory, the emu will get tired and go back to the farm. Instead, the zoo exhibit that wouldn't go away continued to race around the neighborhood, even returning to school during the PM kindergarten graduation, as police kept watch.
A graduation they'll never forget.
Because after all, it's not every kindergarten graduation where Big Bird makes an appearance. In Guilderland, Steve
For a
Harris.
brief time, the only vehicles driving on Canada Street in Lake George were motorcycles.
Oh, it's exciting. It's something that we look forward to every year. Getting together with other bikers, coming up here, seeing the different motorcycles, enjoying the Tour Expo, and taking the demo rides, and just riding throughout the Lake George area. It's a wonderful place.
These self-proclaimed free spirits take to the roads of Warren County all week for the 25th Americade, the largest touring motorcycle rally in the world. And people come from all over the world to be here.
Somebody from Italy came to the Lake George region, and it just kind of goes along with the camaraderie and kind of the brother and sisterhood of motorcyclists throughout the world.
And to top off the week, thousands of bikers made it to the top of Prospect Mountain to celebrate the final day of Americade 2007.
There are so many different ethnics here, you know, in a sense, and everybody's it's just been a nice, peaceful ride.
Just openness and friendliness and be united with people the same kind, same interests.
Things, one is I think it keeps you young. You know, myself, I'm almost 64 years old, and I think it just the spirit of the motorcycling and the enjoyment, I think it's just something that makes you feel alive.
And as they ride off to their next destination, many say they're already looking forward to next year. In Lake George, Jessica Mokhyber, Capital News 9.
In military time, it's just after 0530. For these 250 or so high school seniors, hitting the snooze button isn't an option. They're poolies, soon to be Marine recruits from throughout the state, getting ready for basic training.
Just give them a thorough idea of what to expect once they get to Parris Island, and just a readiness, so once they get down there, they're ready to train.
And knowing what I've been through, I can honestly say if I had something like this, I would have been even more prepared.
They're learning to march and figuring out that physical fitness isn't optional. And they picked up some new vocabulary words.
Speed, volume, and intensity. They just move fast. They sound off when they're told to, and they just show intensity and pride.
The poolies are also getting a taste for what it'll be like out in the field when they don't have mom's home cooking to look forward to. So they have MREs, which stands for Meals Ready to Eat. They come in these little pouches. You add water and some steam to cook them, and then you can dig in. This is actually shredded potatoes with bacon. And it's not that bad. Each recruit is also getting his or her own food for thought.
So far, I've learned not to talk back, keep a straight face and don't smile, and just do what you're told.
Still, many say along with learning discipline, they're having a lot of fun. But the biggest lesson is to succeed, they'll have to blur the lines of individuality.
The key to success is to really rely on each other.
The whole Marine Corps is basically a team, so there's no I. There is I in Marines, but no I in team.
Something their instructors are guaranteed to drill into them as they march on to basic training this summer. In Waterville, Ken Juby.
Police hid behind cars and walls near a Trustco Bank branch on Madison Avenue opposite a police station. Their guns pointed at this man, but he had a weapon of his own, and it was pointed at 4 innocent people.
Just after 1 p.m. today at the bank, person went in. He took 4 hostages, 3 employees, 1 customer.
3 SWAT units surrounded the bank while local police sealed off the neighborhood. A state police helicopter hovered nearby as a spotting platform and, according to one source, as a noise distraction so SWAT teams could reposition. Authorities tried several times to reach the assailant by phone.
We had several phone contacts with him, trying to talk him out of what he was doing.
But the assailant had heard enough. He stopped answering the phone and went into a back room of the bank, leaving the 4 hostages alone near a front window.
They were looking up and kind of pointing downstairs like he was downstairs.
Without warning, the hostages ran for the bank's front door, screaming and crying as they met SWAT officers. The hostages were then taken to the ground and handcuffed as a precaution. When the panic settled, teams of officers moved into the bank, but there would be no arrest. The man who hours earlier was peering at the police through this window had hung himself. Investigators are now working to find out who this man was and what led him to his tragic end. In Albany, Sean O'Grady, Capitol News.
Is finally frozen.
We have ice.
But it's not quite strong enough to walk on. So this weekend, people at the Winter Carnival have been trying dryland fun and games like flag football.
In our sunset years, for football players, we're up there, so it's good to keep up with the young kids and lay the smack down.
While some are scoring touchdowns, others are teasing their taste buds at the chowder cook-off.
Oh, so far, actually, #1 is my favorite.
So Mother Nature might not have cooperated in giving the Winter Carnival ice, but they've brought in their own, about 20,000 pounds, so people can try things like this slide, some turkey bowling, and some other fun things to do with ice. The pro is making an ice sculpture, and meanwhile, children of all ages are testing out one of his earlier creations.
Felt like I was gonna fly off.
You feel like you're out of control. You're in the mercy of the slope. Sliding on the ice and the faces of the kids when they're going down, it's a blast.
Then there's the high skill game of turkey bowling.
You just gotta wing it really hard.
And
wing it, turkey.
Oh, she's a clever one, folks. Toss in ATV races on imported snow, and organizers say you've got a speedy way to make Lake George Village come alive. In Lake George, Ken Juby, Capitol News 9.